BIPF and today at the Shambhavi Puraskar, we connect to the broader concept of social service. You too have chosen a career where you decided to serve the people. So tell us, how important is it for the youth to be involved in social service irrespective of their career choice? And what would you say is the role of education and skill in this?
It's of vital importance. India is a young country. And if India is really to solve some of the societal problems and challenges all around us, of inequality, of deprivations, health issues, how we're going to transition from where we are today to a developed country, we need the younger people to really engage with all of these policy issues at a deep level, at an intimate level, and to get a self-awareness and also a larger understanding of what community stands for. There's a poor sense of community, of belonging, and that stems from a basic deep-seated insecurity about the future. Anyone who believes in their own future will invest in their future, and that future is not as an individual. It is as one member, a small cog in a larger wheel. And that's why it's important. Through education, through NEP, now we are trying to, in the curriculum, no need to be rigid, no need to have silos, break the silos, involve school students in the larger community, in volunteerism, get people from even outside academia to come and provide mentorship to students in school.
तो आपने दो बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण चीज़ें बताई. एक कि किसी भी उम्र में अगर आप कोई चीज़ देखते हैं जिससे आप खुश नहीं हैं, you should work towards trying to improve it. और आपने NEP की बात की. You talked about the NEP. You talked about the outlook that the NEP has today. So let me bring in our young student here, Arpita. Arpita is going into class 10 right now. So Arpita, tell us first, what do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to do government services.
Excellent. And tell us that, do you have any suggestions for the minister in terms of education from a student's perspective?
Yes, I think so. Because we have a lot of theoretical knowledge in our book. More practical knowledge should be there in our books rather than theoretical knowledge.
आपने ITI से अपनी इलेक्ट्रिकल ट्रेनिंग कंप्लीट की. आई थिंक इस बात को अब 7 या 8 साल होने वाले हैं. और बहुत नौजवानों की तरह आपको लगा कि मैं जॉब नहीं लूँ, मैं एक वर्कशॉप खोलूँ. अपने इस जर्नी के बारे में हमें बताइए और क्या क्या कठिनाइयाँ हुई, आपने कैसे उन कठिनाइयों का सामना किया और बाकी युवाओं को आप क्या एडवाइस देंगे?
जी, ITI से पहले मेरा छोटा सा व्हाट्सअप था. व्हाट्सअप के लिए मेरे को पैसा ज़रूरत था, लेकिन स्किल डेवलपमेंट भी ज़रूरत था, क्योंकि लाइसेंस नहीं होने से तो मिलेगा नहीं मार्केट से कुछ भी. इसलिए मैं सोचा कि पहले ITI कर लूँ. व्हाट्सअप भी चल रहा है, ITI भी हो जाएगा, स्किल डेवलपमेंट भी मेरा हो जाएगा. उसके बाद लाइसेंस निकाल लूँगा, जो भी चाहूँगा वही कर पाऊँगा.
और अब आप कैसे नौजवानों को अपॉर्चुनिटी देते हैं? जब आपको काम ज़्यादा होता है तो आप 3-4 लड़के अपने साथ लेते हैं, उनको भी काम पे लगाते हैं और कुछ बच्चों को ITI से ट्रेनिंग भी देते हैं?
जी, ITI के जब समर सीजन चलता है तो मेरे पास चले जाते हैं कि भाई थोड़ा काम सीखना है, तेरे से सिखा लोगे? मैं बोला कि हाँ, मेरे पास भी ज़्यादा भी काम होता है, मेरे को भी ज़्यादा आदमी ज़रूरत होता है, लेकिन सबको तो मैं पैसा दे नहीं पाऊँगा. 3-4 को दे पाऊँगा. ये तो
3-4 को आप पैसे दे के ऐसे समझिए कि नौकरी पर रखते हैं, यही बड़ी बात है, छोटी बात नहीं है. तो ये नहीं कहिए कि हम सिर्फ 3-4 को रख पाते हैं. तो आप वही उदाहरण है जो मोदी जी कहते हैं कि नौजवान काम करेंगे एंड दे विल बिकम एम्प्लॉयर्स, मतलब आप लोगों को नौकरी पे रखेंगे. मंत्री जी, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे इन्हें?
आपको वैल्यू मिला जो आपने ITI में सीखा और जो सर्टिफिकेट आपको मिला, जब आप मार्केट में गए तो आपको लगा कि यस, ट्रेनिंग से आपको सीखने को मिला है और सर्टिफिकेशन की भी डिमांड है. अच्छा लगा सुन के. सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज ये इंडिया में ये है कि हम ITI की सीटें अभी खाली पड़ रही हैं, क्योंकि वो वैल्यू उसको एस्पिरेशनल बनाना, और हमें लाभ मिल रहा है जैसे आपने कहा, PM हर मंच पे, बिकॉज ही इज़ पैशनेट अबाउट इट, वो स्किल्स को हर चीज़ से जोड़ के देखते हैं। और सच्चाई है कि आज इस देश में मंत्रालय कोई भी हो, कार्यक्रम कोई भी हो, योजना कोई भी हो, उद्योग कोई भी हो, बिना कौशल विकास के कोई भी बजट पास नहीं होता। तो हर स्कीम में वो इंक्लूडेड है।
NEP की थोड़ी बात हो गई है, स्किल की थोड़ी बात हो गई है, एंड वी नो दैट द बेस्ट वे टू रीप आवर डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड इज टू skill and upskill the youth. But tell us, Jayant ji, how can the government address concerns of individuals from marginalized backgrounds, especially those who are often discouraged from pursuing skill training because of low wages after they complete their training?
I think it's a part of the normal course of development of nations and societies. We are labor rich, cheap source of labor, and of course, the dignity of work, or what is called in multilateral frameworks, decent work conditions. Even though India subscribes to all those formats, the reality is that sometimes even hazardous work is done by the poorest of people without even the minimum pay, which is required under policy and law. I do feel that as India grows, as we develop, our social security net is already increasing. You see a lot of schemes coming through the states, in the center. We've got a portal now with more than 30 crore informal sector workers have registered each run. So slowly the social security net will widen. And currently, people from industry may not like it. Currently, when you go and compete at the world stage, your only one thing is we are the cheapest. But slowly you have to transition from being the cheapest to being the best quality. You have to compete on basis of knowledge economy and the skill economy. And when that imperative is a reality for Indian industry, then they will seek the skilled person. And then there will be a motivation and incentive structure for every family in our country to skill themselves. We are here in Odisha. For a state like Odisha, skilling is the most important thing you can do. And it's true that here, yes, as a state, Odisha also has a very good network, a decent footprint. You compare Odisha to other states, because now pan-India, I get a larger view of perspective of things, of what are the good practices that states are doing. Here, institutionally, Odisha is still ahead of the game. Looking at the history of how states evolve and become developed, you look at Global South specifically. Countries or states that are resource rich, typically they have a lot of disparity, because there's the owner of royalty and the resource, and there's the laborer who toils. There's no middle class. So to create that middle class, you need a whole set of entrepreneurs to give jobs and people who skill themselves to upgrade their capabilities.
I hear a lot of the focus on collective responsibility, which is just another way of saying that everybody should do their bit. And you're right that industry should also look at tackling the wages issue, and it's not just a government issue. Dr. Mahapatra, tell us that the medical and healthcare profession is also a lot about giving back to society. And from your vast experience, what would your advice be to students who want to be a part of this profession, also because it is a way of social change?
We lack about 20 lakhs doctors. First medical college started in Calcutta 1835. Almost 200 years of MBBS started 1835. We have produced 7 lakh doctors, and we are deficient by 20 lakh doctors and about 30 lakh nurses. So if you look at the health parameters, we take 3 things: life expectancy by birth, infant mortality rate, and maternal mortality rate, and nutritional parameter. We found out of 180 countries, we are coming in 177. That means we have to go a long way to give health care to the grassroots level. First thing is education and nutrition. Unless we have proper education, go to tribal, go to village, the poor nutrition, communicable diseases. While we claim that communicable diseases disappearing in the world, many states in Odisha and Bihar and Jharkhand still have malaria death. And the largest number of malaria deaths anywhere in the world is in Odisha. So what I am telling, our infrastructure personnel, we created large number of PSC, CSC and community center. And we say that every community center has 2 doctors, PSC level, at least 1 specialist on thing. This is not possible today. You require a huge number. I calculated what is the deficiency, the requirement of specialists in this country and different. 80% deficiency in medicine. I'm not talking neurosurgery, cardiac surgery, plastic surgery. The 4 specialty: medicine, surgery, pediatrics, gynecologist. Deficient between 70 and 85%. Population to doctor ratio, doctor to bed ratio, bed to ICU ratio, ICU to population ratio. If you take all these parameters as the health statistics of a state or a country or a locality, we are very low. Our doctor to population ratio is very low and specialist is very bad. So we have to create huge number of medical professionals, and then we have no way of making everybody to work for the government. Because when you talk about government deficiency doctor, we are always not talking about people who are working in the society. Social development, health care, that is okay. Anybody working in Bhubaneswar, he will give the infrastructure to Bhubaneswar. But he cannot work the public with the poor people going to hospital. So what you see then, hospitals are overcrowded, government hospitals overcrowded. Go to AIIMS, Bhubaneswar, 5 hours waiting list. People come at 4 o'clock, they put a stone and a bag on a line so that the line remains of the bag. So the question is that we have to do a lot of things. How to increase number of doctors? We don't have specialists. Odisha had 3 medical colleges. In last 10 years, when I came to Bhubaneswar AIIMS, there were 3 medical colleges. Today there are 22 medical colleges. Where are the teachers? Where are the teachers? And we analyze.
So it's work in progress.
Just one minute. Quality education. In engineering, 10% quality is good. Out of 1.5 million engineers produced, only internationally qualified standard is 10%. And in MBBS, we are now taking out 1,25,000. Only 10%, 20% are good. 1 in 5 are good quality medical education. 1 in 20 has got only good quality engineering education. The rest are not up to standard. That is what I analyze. A very good review.
Thank you. So as you know that our jury commendation recipient today, Dr. Shambhavi Panda, who himself is hearing impaired, has endeavored to develop a very inclusive school, which is the Happy Hands School for the Deaf, and admirably, he ensures the smooth functioning of this by including and recruiting individuals with hearing impairment. Jayanji, in this context, what steps are being taken at the policy level to improve inclusivity at schools?
Shivaji ji is a legend, and on 6th December 24, I had the honor, because I'm Education Minister, Cabinet Minister was also there. We inaugurated Channel 31 on DTH, which is channel for the educators, for the hearing impaired. It's a channel dedicated to ISL, which is Indian Sign Language. And Shivaji ji is one of the pioneers in pushing for ISL. In education, our National Institute of Open Schooling, NIOS, they have set up a course on ISL, and NCERT has also developed a course on ISL. There's a demand. I know that you need to include Indian Sign Languages, recognize it as a scheduled language, to give it that recognition and respect. And I noted that today you had someone here translating live what everyone was saying. It's such a skill. That is a real skill. So I think even in vocational, we need to understand that we are trying to work on that framework to recognize a language learning capability as a skill. And therefore ISL will also then get that recognition. I can say that my political party is the first political party to have sign language translators live in all our big meetings. So under PM Shri, we have given certain allocation budget for infrastructure enhancements, and the big criteria for there is that you need to have the ramps, you need to have the railings. Even digitization does help in a way, providing equity and access to everyone. So we all need to really work collectively and prioritize education so that the state government schools can also start getting upgraded.
Thank you. So before we end this fireside chat, Arpita has a few rapid fire questions for our two guests.
Response should be quick, I suppose. Oh. No, she has. Doctor साहब, आपसे नहीं पूछेंगे.
So my first question for you is, you have a master's degree in accounts and finance. So as a student, would you aspire us to be a politician?
No, I said a student should think about themselves, about politics, about social causes. And politics doesn't mean you just contest election. Politics is also voting. Every student should also, when they are of age, must vote. Think about their vote, why they are voting, who they are supporting, which party they stand from, what are their issues, and actively engage. Thank you.
So my next question for you is, what was your favorite subject in school, accounts or political science?
No, accounts was never my favorite subject. I think my favorite period in school was break period. And you know, I've thrived in unstructured environments. Politics is also unstructured. You are responding. Though there's discipline, they have to have, as a schedule, as a minister, every minute has to be accounted for. Yeah. That's why I like break period. It's helping me in life.
That's great, sir. So my third question for you is, do you feel remote learning or online classes is better or traditional classroom methods?
I think this question wouldn't have been asked before COVID because we never realized that can be harnessed. But if you look at solving some of India's problems with access, with our remote areas, states which don't have infrastructure, they don't have schools. In the northeast, people have to travel so far. They study till primary, secondary school is 20 kilometers away. You have to, you're living on a hill. For communities like that, I think online learning has been a boon.
So my last question for you is, would you like to see more graduates from our generation in job or entrepreneurship?
See, 1.4 billion population, everyone can't be entrepreneurs. Everyone can't be risk takers. Everyone cannot access capital. You need some people to also be comfortable working in structure, hierarchy, the doers, team players, team workers. As a leader, I can do nothing if I don't build a team. As an individual, I can do nothing. Even he needs a team to actually get things done. So, what your passion is, and who knows where your life will take you.
So on that note, I really have to close this fireside chat. Thank you very much.